Thank you.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm cold, so we have to warm up. Rub your hands together. It's cold down here. Should have been the heat on. Now you guys are gonna get warmed up because of it. All right, rub them together fast and fierce. And then touch your face and notice if it got any warmer in your palms. And then release your hands down and circle around on your seat. And bring your attention to your breath. It's hard when you're moving, but even just bringing your awareness that you're going to focus on your breath is helpful. And we have a creaky seat today. You may hear it. Needs a little oiling, it sounds. And come back to center. Let's circle the shoulders around and about. It's always a nice place to start. Bring them forward, upwards, back, and around. As they go forward, almost like you're a primate, you know, rounding your shoulders, and then lift them to your earlobes and bring them back and around. And let's reverse it. I always find reversing a little bit harder. Reverse it each time, forward and back. And then lift your shoulders up high, high, high. Make a fist with your hands and then let it go. And feel that compression. There's this downward compression, which isn't necessarily feeling great if we walked around like that all the time. Inhale, lift your shoulders up, make a fist, pull your bellies in, push down through your feet as much as you can, crunch your eyes, let it go. Let it go. With your feet, take your right foot, push it down into your mat or whatever you're touching, lift your toes, spread them. Then you're going to reach your right toes forward, push down like you're pushing the toe pad, the toenail down into the mat. And notice how your arch may lift. So we call that short foot. We've done it before. Really push these pads down into the mat, and you'll notice how the arch lifts. Your big toe mound might even lift up a bit, and that's okay. That's actually good. We are activating the muscles underneath on your arch. Let that go, and let's do it again. Right side, lift toes, spread them, push the pads down. You're not really crunching your toes. I was talking to some students last night. We're not pushing the toe tips down. It's more the pads down. Push them down, 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 and you'll see the arch activate, and then release it and let it go. And one more time, the reason we're doing this, I know some of you have asked, we are building muscle strength on the intrinsic muscles in your foot. Super duper important for the musculature up your leg and for your balance. One more time. Push the foot down, lift the toes, spread them, then press the pads of the toes down, and you feel the arch lift in your foot. Now you might even feel that your belly is engaging when you do this, because this is all connected, believe it or not. Even your pelvic floor is connected to this. Release, let it go. Let's do the other.
Mindy, what about flat feet?
Okay, Ed, thank you for that question. Yes, this is for flat feet. This is literally to help lift the arches of the flat foot. Because what happens for a lot of people is the muscles weaken and the foot flattens. So I would call it especially for people with flat feet. Really, really work it. Even if it seems like you're not working it. Keep sending your mind's eye, your energy down to the foot. Are you feeling any engagement when you do it?
I have I went to a lecture by a urologist specializing in MS and learned that the stronger your feet are, your toes and how much you work, the more you work on your feet, the stronger your pelvic
That's
floor
right.
becomes.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Thank you for that. So when we do this action, you are actually strengthening your pelvic floor. This is how important this is. Some people call it, I heard I love that Emily Spickle, the podiatrist. She calls it vertical stacking. So let's do the left side now. Lift your left toes, spread them, place the pads down, push your pads down like somebody was stepping on your big toe, toenail, not cracking it, but stepping on it, putting some pressure all the way across the toes and feel that arch lift. It's similar to the feeling when you try to pick something up with your toes, like a washcloth. It's similar, but really get refined in the muscles in doing this, because yes, it is literally it is related to your pelvic floor, and let that go. Now let's do both. I know you guys asked for head and shoulders, and we will definitely get that in. Lift all 10 toes. You don't need to look at them. This is more about a feeling than it is a looking. If it helps you to look for a second, look, but then take your gaze away and really feel. Lift them, spread them, push the pads down, 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 down. And it's okay in this circumstance when the big toe mound lifts. It's called short foot. So it looks like your feet are a little bit shorter if you were to look down. And then let that go. And if it's available to you, go ahead and stand for a moment next to a chair or table and feel it in your pelvic floor from standing. You can still feel it seated. So either way, go into mountain pose, seated or standing, hold onto a chair, be against a wall, whatever you need to do for your balance. Lift the toes up, all 10, spread them. It's like you're going to reach them forward towards a wall and then push the pads down. Feel your strength. It's going to feel like the big toe mound is lifting up a little bit, and it's going to feel like the arches are lifting up. So that gets back to Ed's question about flat feet, and then let that go. Now, I want you to take your awareness to your pelvic floor, push your toes down, and notice what happens to your belly. Push down not only just your toes, but the big toe mound, the pinky, and the center of your heel. Push them down. Notice how the belly tones and the pelvic floor lifts up. The muscles are engaging in the pelvic floor. And if you want to take it even further, take your tongue to the roof of your mouth and push it up. I can't talk when I'm doing that, but push the tongue up to the roof of the mouth. And what's happening here is a whole lot of engagement, a whole lot of muscle engagement. Release that, let it go. So we'll work our way up here now. Let's lift the right knee, pull it in. So even when we're pulling this in, we can push down through the opposite foot, push it down. You might have to, I'm noticing I got to move my heel a little bit forward. And then let's circle the knee around, because we got to make sure our synovial fluid in our joints is swishing around in there. So yeah, you can go slower, faster. And then let's place the foot back down and do the other side. Lift the left knee, circle it around and about. So I like to mix up our time together with kind of static things like that idea together with more flowing, because I know we want to move too. And there's this balance between strengthening and in flowing movement. And then place the foot back down. You could practice that toe thing a good 5 minutes or so each day. And like taking if you cramp up, because the students sometimes cramp up, use the tennis ball or the pinky ball or this blue ball, something to loosen up the area that gets crampy. Let's now take the shoulders and bring them about to the base of your neck. So that's about here. If the shoulders are down there, they're pulling. That's the hanger. If they're up here, that's the stress. And we want to get somewhere in the middle of the hanger and the stress. Look, we're not looking to wear the shoulders as earrings. So somewhere in the middle, and then open up your palms. Let's turn the hands in, back side of the hand down, then turn the palms up, turn it, open it, turn it, open it, turn it, open it, turn it. As we do this, I want you to notice the shoulder blades on your back. Because as we turn the palms up, right, our shoulder blades are on the back. As we turn the palms and the arms down, our shoulders are off the back. We want to be upright like so, unless we are intentionally going the other way, which would be for cat pose. Take your hands to the top of your thigh, pull the belly in, shin to your chest, feel the shoulder blades spread apart. And then inhale, open up. What a wonderful day. I hope it's wonderful around you today. Exhale, round like a cat. Shoulder blades are opening up. You can take your mind's eye to the space in between your shoulder blades. It's opening up. Inhale. How wonderful. Palms face up, thumbs down. Think about elongating your neck. Elongating. It's extending up and slightly back. It's not dropping back. And then come back to center and release the hands down. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you drop the right arm, just let it go. Maybe you lift the elbow, just kind of play with it and see if that adds to the stretch or takes it away. And then drop that arm down and notice what you feel. Use your fingertip to lift the head back up. There you go. And now drop it the other way. Now remember, you're using your muscles to lower the ear rather than this, like using your head to do it. It's more of using the neck muscles. Relax the shoulders. Take a breath in and a breath out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift the head back up. Great. Turn your chin towards your shoulder. And then exhale, lower the chin down. If you have a zipper, it's coming to center towards the zipper. And then it's curling the other way. We do not take the head all the way around. The neck was not designed for that. We're doing half circles rather than full circles. Now we can drop the ear down towards the left, take the chin down, circle around, and notice, let the head be heavy. Notice that you're feeling a bit of a stretch as you take your head around. Do it intentionally rather than fast, right? The neck is fragile. And we want to be gentle with it. And then ear back towards right shoulder, lift it up. Turn your head now towards the left. Feel your neck muscles, relax your shoulders. Drop the chin down, lower it down, and right here, I'm feeling a stretch right here as I just take that head down. See, this is all purposeful, right? Feel the stretch. It's not like we're walking around like this. Then turn our head to center with the chin down. Bring it towards the right. And then feel the stretch, even towards the right here. Notice where you feel this. You can feel the extension on the side of the neck. Then lower the chin down, back towards the left. Turn the ear downward, lift the head back up. Notice how you feel now. And let's play with walking in place. Get the legs moving. Inhaling and exhaling as you move. And you might swing the opposite arm. Get it going. Keeping the shoulders relaxed as we alternate arms. See if you can take your vision back behind you and feel the shoulder blades as they move as you alternate. That's it. You got it. Come back to neutral. Take a little break and we're going to punch. So I know this isn't really yoga, but we're still going to do it anyway because you guys like that boxing stuff. So right, the left arm, switch it up. Just kind of do a little punching. Just get it going. You can bend your elbow like you're taking a brisk walk. A brisk walk. There you go. You feel even a little bit of a twist when you do it, as long as that's okay on your spine. Breathe. Breathing in and out. Let that go. Return to neutral. Take your hands behind your head, underneath your ponytails, and then elbows move forward and pull the skin up behind your head. So just pull it up. You can't really see it, but I'm just dragging my palms up. It should feel good. When you do this, dragging the hands up, you should feel the curve in your neck. We don't want the flat neck. You should feel a curve here. And the outline of the hands, the pinky side of your hand is pressing against the skin. That should feel good that you're lifting up, like you're cupping your head. Now, support your head. So we're not pushing the head forward. Do not push the head forward. Let me repeat. Do not push the head. Press the head back into your hands. That's okay. Pull the ribs back. Pull the ribs back. Take the elbows a little bit forward and then open them up. And forward and open them up. And forward and open up. We're going to do elbow to knee, but no pushing the head. So it looks like this. It looks like this. We're keeping the head pressing into the palms. Exhale as you lift, inhale down. Exhaling, inhaling. Exhaling, inhaling. You got this. Exhaling, inhaling. Breathing in and breathing out as we exhale and we inhale. Come back to neutral. Hands to the top of the thighs. Push the palms down into your thighs. Lift tall. Feel like your ribs are stacking over your hips. Push your feet down into the earth. Inhale, arms out to the side. Let's find a twist. Left hand outside, right thigh, right hand behind you, touching the back of the chair. Turning your head towards the right. but using your neck muscles, no cranking the neck so it whips back. That's not allowed. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. Feel the shoulder blade on your back. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, come back to center. Inhale, swing your arms forward. Take your arms towards your ears. Exhale, come on back. Lift your heart. Turn your palms upright. Lift your heart. Take your sitting bones back. Inhale, lean forward. Long spine, extending from the tailbone all the way up through the heart, arms towards your ears. Move back, palms lift, heart rising. Inhale, reach forward, take your ribbies back. Breathe in, breathe out, push down, back to seated, straight up in mountain pose. Feel the ribs, pull them back so that your ribs stack over your pelvis, your pelvic bone. It's all stacking. Take your right hand outside your left thigh. Turn your head with your neck muscles towards your left, right hand behind the chair or at a diag. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Breathing. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Remember our nose breathing, nostril breathing. Come back to center. Let's do a nice thigh stretch. We'll start by we're going to turn, well, you have two different options. One is you move your hips towards the right and your left hip is almost off the chair, and then you take your leg back. You might have your blanket handy, because if you're one of those crampers where the feet cramp, then it's nice to put the blankie down. And I'll remind you, that's one of the reasons for doing our rolling around on the ball. I know you don't all have it with you, but I can't promote this enough. Make sure you massage your feet with a tennis ball, a pinky ball, some type of, you don't want it too hard. I think the lacrosse ball is too hard. Not for everybody, but for some people. So you're either gonna be like this, or, and you might put a block underneath your knee, so you're like this. And this is one way. I'm going to show the other way. It's really the same thing, but you may feel safer one way. Here's the other way. I'm going to turn my whole body towards the right, place the blanket down, maybe the block. You got to figure this out. Where does your knee land? Somebody with really long legs probably doesn't need the block. So it might look something like this. It might be two stacked. Your foot, the toes can curl under or it can be flat down. So it looks like this. Some people use two blocks, one under here, one here, instead of the blanket. That's good too. My right hip is on the chair, but the left one is entirely off. Now, if this feels weird for your balance, you could have another chair here or set yourself up near a wall. Here we go again. Stacking ribs over pelvis. Lengthening our spine upwards. Shoulders are over our pelvis as well. Take your mind's eye to the top of your head and the bottom of your tailbone and feel long. Then notice if you're getting a stretch. If you're not, you can extend your leg. You can hold on to the back of the chair with your inside arm. Hold on to it, extend the leg until you feel stretched. Some of you are going to feel it right here, and some of you might need to extend it back to feel it. Now, we want to make sure we don't do that. So we're going to lift our shoulders up over the hip. I'm extending pretty much fully back, but you don't need to do that. You might need to move your block a little bit. So it does take a little bit of time to get the adjustment right for you. You don't want to feel pain in your lower back. we're taking our sitting bones down, but then we're stacking our ribs over our pelvis, and that should help the lower back. We might lift the outside arm up, reach it high, spread your fingers, lift the shoulder up and get a good stretch. Make sure you're holding onto the chair. But now come back to neutral and release that shoulder down. Pull the ribs back, breathe in, push down through the front of the shin. So we don't want to push down through our kneecap. That wouldn't be good. Be right here. You might take your hand behind your head for a little back bend. This is how it looks. Elbows forward, head's resting in hand. Hand is not pushing head. We lift tall, we extend the neck up and slightly back. The head is supported. Breathe in and breathe out. Come back to neutral. Take your arm forward, open it out to the side and wide, lengthen the arm. Let's do that again. Inhale, arm lift. Exhale, forward. Take it out and circle it back around you. Lift it up. So forward, outward, upwards, hand behind head, ribs back, extend long, maybe lean back for a little back bend here. Elbow is pointing more upward. Come back to center. Let's step that outside foot back. Anytime it feels like you're holding this too long, don't wait for me to tell you to release it. Release it. Never let your yoga teacher dictate your practice and the details of your practice. You don't want to be in pain. Nobody should be in pain. If something's feeling like you're holding it too long, your teacher's just talking and she's trying to help you direct into the pose, get yourself into the pose. But if I'm talking too much, just come on out of it. So some of you are going to go to the side of the chair the other way like this, where your knee is down. So like here, I feel so balanced that I don't even need to hold on to the chair, but you may not feel that. You may feel like, so this is very much balance, playing with balance. Now we want to try to keep our hips level. So you wouldn't want this knee coming, the knee and the hip going down like that. We don't want that. We want to lift tall, ribs back. So see, this almost looks exactly the same, and you don't need this blanket here for this. So it's very much the same pose, but you may feel that one is more accessible to you. I'm going to turn to the left now. And you don't have to take your arm up. That's just a little icing on the cake. I'm going to put this block down. Get situated, turning towards the left. And then my sitting bone, my left sitting bone's on the chair. The right one is pretty much off of it. Knee is resting either on blanket or blanket may be back so that the top of the foot has something to rest on. And maybe the block or pillows are underneath the knee. So make yourself comfortable so that you can access the pose. We don't want to be here. We want to be here. We're lifting tall. You can take your sitting bones back, but then take your ribs back. We might lift the arm up towards the sky. Reach it long, like your side body is getting so long, all along the outside. Take a breath in, relax the shoulder down. Maybe take your hand behind your head and then rest your head into your palm, elbows forward for a little back bend. If you find the back bend, take a breath in and a breath out. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Inhale, come back to neutral. Lift the arm up. Let's take it forward, out to the side and back. See, now it's like This is all opening up here. Inhale, arm lifts. Exhale, forward. Open it up. So we're getting a thigh stretch at the same time as we're moving our arms. Lift up. Feel that side stretch. Forward, out. Feel the thigh stretch. So if you push down through your shin and you pull your ribs back, that will help you to access it. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, forward, outward. Release. Let's step this outside foot to meet the right. And come back to neutral. That was fun. Now let's stand. I hope you thought it was fun at least. Let's do some standing and lunging. And chair dogging, wall dogging. So take your time to get upright and place your chair safely. Stable chair on a sticky mat against a wall. Stable, 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 so it's not going anywhere. Feel your mountain pose. Feet are parallel, about hip distance apart. You might take them a little bit wider. Let's go back to that short foot idea. Push down through, you can hold on to something. Push down through your feet. Lift tall through your crown. Lift tall through your crown. Inhale, lift your toes. Spread them. Reach them forward. Push the toe pads down. Feel your strong feet. You'll feel the arches activate. You know what you're feeling too? You're feeling your pelvic floor activate. You're also probably feeling muscles. I'm feeling muscles in my legs, in the calves and in the thighs. Release. Let that go. Let's face the chair. Hands on the seat of the chair. Pressing our finger pads down. Same thing as our toes. So we're pressing the pads of our fingers into the chair. Now, I just want to show you this. This is a pad someone sent me for free as a trial. But you could cut a yoga mat, like an old yoga mat, and put it on the seat of the chair too to help grip. Or you might have a chair that's just easy for you to grip, and that's fine. I have enjoyed this, so I just wanted to say that. All right, finger pads are on the chair. Take your feet back. Push them down. Sitting bones back. When in doubt, stick your buttocks back and out. Sitting bones back. Lift the ribs. You'll feel your belly tone. Breathe in. Breathe out. Knees are bending. Tailbones lifting. Ribs are lifting. Push down to your feet to straighten. And walk your feet back towards the chair. Hands at your heart. Notice how your body is feeling now. We'll go down again. This time, let's do the handstand arms. So you can either do this is more Sphinx with elbows on the chair, forearms on the chair. You're going to look like this, but down on the chair. Or fingers interlaced, thumbs crossed, and we're going to push down through the pinky side of our hand and our elbow down into the chair. This is really good for your shoulders. So find either arms are parallel or fingers are interlaced. Walk your hips back, walk your legs back, push down your elbows into the chair. So you're not taking your shoulders forward. Please don't do this. Shoulders don't like that. So we want to take our shoulders more over our elbows or even slightly behind them. Let's do a version of cat pose. So we round our spine as we push the forearms down, belly tones, feet pressed down. We're curling up like the cat. Now, inhale, we lift our spine, take our shoulders over our elbows. Bend your knees a little bit, sitting bones back, lift your heart. So we're in a version of cow pose. Now we're going to go back to cat. Round your spine, push down through your forearms, tone your belly, take your tailbone, angle it down towards your heels. And let's reverse this. Bend your knees, lift your heart. Weight is pushing down through the sides of your arm bones. Neck is extending from your heart. Breathe in and breathe out. Take your hands now, place them on the chair. And this is, we're going to do the same thing. Round the spine as you push your palms down. Your arms are straightening. Try not to lock them. Then bend your knees, lift your heart, tailbone is back, shoulder blades are on the back. Let's try it reversed. Straightening the legs, curling the chin towards the chest, pushing down through our big toe mounds and across the pinkies. Belly's pulling in. One more time for the cow variation. Bending knees, sitting bones back. Heart lifting. And walk your feet back in. Come to neutral. How does the body feel now? Go back to that short foot idea. Just try to get it into those feet so you can practice this even when we're not together. Push down through your pads, your toes, and really push the pads down, 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 down. Notice how the arches activate. Notice how your legs are activating. Notice how your hips are toning. This is actually helping you to strengthen the whole body from the bottom up. So you push, you're curling it. Let's give it a release. Let that go. And notice what happened when I let go. The body just said, oh, okay. So we don't want to do that. We're just like, okay, whatever. So what this is doing is actively engaging us. Push down through our feet. Soften the back of the knees. Tailbone's back. Ribs are stacked. Let's take our tongue to the roof of the mouth. Now we're really engaged. Okay, let's take one or both arms up overhead. Maybe you have one hand on the chair. Relax your shoulders. Soften your knees. Take your heart forward, sitting bones back, maybe softening or bending the knees. Release one hand to the chair or one hand to your leg or both hands to your leg, or maybe your hands are going to blocks. I'll just show that. So either way, there's not a better way, by the way. It's not a better way. The best way is the way that's best for your body. So here we are. We might have our hands on the blocks. Our sitting bones are moving back, or hands are on shins or hands are on thighs. Shoulders up and back. Lift the heart. This is a little back bend. Bend your knees. Draw your shoulder blades on the back. Let's release, trace your arms down, release your head, your jaw. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe let your head sway to the right, like you're saying no, and sway to the left, like you're saying no. Inhale to center. One or both hands to your hips. Lengthen your shoulders forward and your sitting bones back. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Push down through the pads of your feet. Lift up. One or both arms out to the side, up towards the sky. Spread your fingers. Hands at your heart. How does the body feel now? Let's do some heel lifts and some lunges. I think I'm going to turn the chair today, but so I don't really feel like there's one way that's better than the other with turning the chair. It's kind of dependent on you and your comfort level. and how tall you are. I think when you're really tall, you might not want your hands on the chair, but there's reasons to have them on the chair. So how's that for an answer? Depends. We're in our mountain pose. Our fingertips are touching the chair. We're going to inhale and lift our heels up. This is strengthening our feet too. And then we're going to exhale and slowly lower down. I have to say that since I've been doing the short foot, I feel like even that lifting the heels up feels a little stronger. Let's do it again. Inhale, heels rise, ankles rise. Feel a little toning in your pelvic floor. If you take your ribs and you stack them over your pelvis, if they're forward like that and the butt is back like that, you will not feel the pelvic floor tone. It's really hard. The ribs have to go over the pelvis. Shoulders are over the pelvis. And then exhale and slowly lower down. Keeping the right foot forward, let's step the left leg back. And you can place the heel down for balance. We'll get a little calf stretch on the way. So bending knee over heel and then straightening. And bending and straightening. And bending. Now, we don't want to go like that. So we're not looking to hang out forward, right? We're lifting up, pull the ribs back, press down firmly through your feet like you mean it. Widen your stance for balance. You're going to feel some energy going down through your foot and up to your front hip. Push down actively through the back. If for some of you, your hip feels tight, lift that heel up. And you're going to feel more of a thigh stretch too. There's advantages to both. Again, there's not a best. You might take one arm up. You might take both arms up. You might keep both hands on the chair. We are in warrior one. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Hands back to the chair. Turn your heel up. Feel your legs pull in towards each other, even though you're not moving. Maybe you take one arm up. Maybe you take the other arm up. Maybe you stay right here and breathe. Maybe you lift both arms, but please be safe. Do what is accessible for you. Find a spot to stare at as you breathe. We're going to lean forward and take the back foot back to the front. For the other side. We're back to our mountain pose. Take a breath in and a breath out. Step your other leg back. In my case, it's the right leg. You can widen your stance for balance. It's very important that you set it up. Take the time to set it up. Never feel like there's a rush to get there. You're home. Take your time. Make it your practice. Even if you were in person, you should still make it your practice. Bending the knee over the ankle and the heel and straightening and bending and straightening and bend. Feel your hips tone as you push down through your feet. Press, widen, feel like you're widening the right hip to the right and the left hip to the left. If this sounds weird, ignore me. Sitting bones back, ribs back. We're in our stance. Maybe you take one arm up. Maybe you take the other arm up. Breathe right here. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in. Breath is out. Breathe in and breathe out. Hands back to the chair, lift the heel. Let's feel this. You might even bend your back knee. Some people like to do that and then play with straightening and bending and straightening. And maybe you keep both hands on the chair, sitting bones back, ribs back, maybe one arm lifts. Breathe in, breathe out, breath is in, breath is out. Maybe the other arm lifts. You take the one down and you lift the other, staring at that spot that's not moving as you breathe. Now, this is a lot harder with the heel up to balance. If you want to try it with both arms up, feel free, as long as you feel safe and you've got something to grab onto if you need to. Please don't take a risk that doesn't feel right for you. Let's step the back foot to meet the front. And let's shake out our legs a little bit. Shake them out. Do some circles. Do some circles. One way. And then the other. Because it feels good. And notice how you do these circles, how you feel like the weight is transferring in your feet, because it is. It is. And come back to center. We are going to take the chair in front of us and take our feet wide. So wide stance now. Toes are forward. Push your feet down. You can do the same thing with this short foot stuff. We push our feet down, like that stuff. Widen your feet to where you feel comfortable. Hands on a chair for balance. Pull your heels away from each other. Notice what you feel. Lift your toes. Spread them. Place them down, push the pads of the toes downward. Hands come to the chair. We're going to bend the right knee. The left straightens. Then we're going to go to the other side. Bending, alternating, right to left. And left to right. Then come back up. We're going to turn our toes out this time. And we're going to do the same thing. Hands on the chair. Bend the right knee. You might push down through the left heel and lift the rest of the foot up. So it's a flexed foot. And then we switch it up. Heel or knee over heel, and then right heel down, foot up. We're in a flex side. You don't have to do that, by the way. We're rolling through. You can keep the foot down, or you can lift it up. We're going side to side. Now, if you're feeling super balanced, you can lift your arms, but only if you feel super balanced. If you want to go side to side with the arms up, go for it. Go for it. Yup. So arms are wide as we move side to side. Breathe in, breathe out, breathing as we move. It's kind of like a flowing movement. Come back to center, all 10 toes forward. Walk your feet back in, hands at the heart. Yep. Notice how your body feels. Now, let's do a standing banana pose. If I do this, you won't see me exactly. So you pretend the chair is in front of me. So banana pose is a side bend with feet crossed. You can do the side bend and not cross your feet. You might start with your feet apart, or it crosses. So let me do right over left first. So here's what it looks like. Right is over left. This is a balance pose in and of itself. We're hugging our legs towards each other. If this doesn't feel right for you, You could be in this kind of, with the feet like one stepped in front of the other, a little wider for balance. Then we're going to lift our left arm and take a side bend towards the right. So it either looks like this, and you might have one hand on the chair, or it looks like this, or your feet are in mountain pose, feet parallel, and it looks like this. This is more of a banana pose. If you're hugging your legs towards each other, hand is on the chair in front of you for balance. Those of you who really want to test it and feel super balanced, you're toning your hips, you might lift your other arm, but that's only if you're feeling super duper balanced. Breathe in, breathe out. If you're seated, you can cross your legs and do this. We're hugging the legs towards each other in banana. Come back to center, step it out. Bend and straighten, maybe a little bit of bouncing action like you are doing jump rope. This is really good for us too. Jump roping is good, bouncing is good. Give a little bit of bouncing impact action, really good for the fascia, lubricating the fascia. Good stuff. Good stuff. I guess stuff is my word today. Really good, very beneficial for us. All right, let's do banana on the other side. So either you're stepping one foot forward and the other back. So now left foot forward, right back, or mountain, or crossing left over right. You're hugging your legs towards each other. You're feeling a toning in your legs as you hug them. We're pushing our heels down. You may lift the right arm and take a side bend towards your left. Towards your left. The elbow can bend for sure. Notice that the ribs are coming forward. Pull them back. Then reach left again. Those of you feeling super balanced, you might use both hands, but see, I find this is hard. This is not easy. So please be safe. Maybe you take a side bend. Maybe you use both arms. Maybe you don't. Yes. Legs are strong, firm, pushing down. Lift up and release your hands down. And shake that out. A little bit more of bouncing action. Bouncing action. Good stuff. And let's do one more wall dog, then we'll have a seat. You can do the wall dog where your forearms are down, like the handstand, or you can be up on your palms. Either way, push it back, lean back, lift your ribs so they're level rather than sinking the hips and rather than sinking the belly down. Lift it up, you'll feel a tone. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take your awareness to your big toe mounds as they push down and then across the ball of the foot, center of the heel. This helps the whole pose, by the way, when we activate our feet. Walk yourself back towards the chair and have a seat and take your strap with you. I have one student who was telling me that she was getting stress in her neck after yoga, and she's got some nerve pain going on in her neck. And so it's hard to decipher what's what. But then I thought to myself, she was telling me during the hamstring stretch, you really want to make sure that you're not stressing out your hands and your wrists and your head and your neck and your jaw when you're doing this. One way is to loop the strap. So it looks like a loop. And it's not a requirement, but if you don't want to use if you want to give your wrists a break or your fingers a break, then a loop is a nice thing to do. It's a fairly long loop. And I'll show you what it looks like. So we take the strap and the loop and put it around the bottom of the foot. And then you can adjust the size of your loop. Now this works best with the strap that's not going to open up. So the the buckle is good. Most of the time, it's just a matter of doing that buckle right. Now, you also could rest your foot on a chair in front of you. Then you take one or both arms in between the loop. I've got it like in a prayer position, or you can push the forearms away. I'm going to turn to the side so maybe you get a different view of this. So leg is lifting, forearms are pushing away, big toe mound is pushing away. Palms are together like in a prayer. So this is one way. There should be no stress in your shoulders, your fingers, your wrists when we do this. Yes, that leg is heavy. So we need to give it the support that we can. And of course, that can mean leg on the chair is best as well. Take a few breaths when you're doing your hamstring stretch. So this goes for if you're doing hamstring stretch on the ground when we do that, like on Fridays, same thing. You can use the loop. That way you can really focus on lifting tall through your spine as you stretch your leg. If you're not feeling enough and your foot is on the chair, you might go a little bit forward. Then you're going to take your hands. You're either going to make this strap tighter. You could do that. And then same thing. But we want to keep the shoulder blades on the back. All right, let's do the other side if you haven't done it already. Strap around bottom of the foot. You don't have to use the loop. I'm just showing it today because it came to my attention. So one of the things we have to be aware of is when we're on Zoom, I can't see everybody's reactions and posture. So I have to give you these options and then you say to yourself, does this work better for me? Feel it in your body. But if you're feeling some type of pain after or during, you shouldn't feel it during, you really shouldn't feel it after, unless there's something going on, like some people have a lot of arthritis, and that certainly could be talking to you. And we just have to experiment with how far to go to our edge in our practice. I like the palms together here, and you can push your forearms out or take your palms away from each other. Now we're working our strength because we're pushing the forearms against the strap. It's very nice. Breathe in, breathe out, soft breath in, and soft breath out. Stay as long as you want in this pose to really stretch out the back of your leg. We've done a pretty good job of stretching the front and the back of the leg today. Let's make sure we do a hip opener before we close. Lifting the right knee, you can place the ankle on top of the thigh, or if that hip is tight, you might stack some pillows or blocks so that you don't have to bring the leg so far up. And then we're going to lean forward until we feel the stretch and stop right there. Lengthen through the spine. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Breathing, lengthening, and opening up our inner thigh or outside of the hip for about 30 seconds, at least. Feel the sensation as you stay there. Make sure you're pushing down through this standing leg. And to rise up, we push down, we rise up. Lower the leg and do the other side. So find the version that's right for this side, for your left side. Lifting the knee, placing the ankle, and feeling your hips nice and level. Then we start to lean forward until we feel sensation. Breathing in and breathing out and softening into the pose. You might use your left hand to gently press on the thigh, not the knee. You don't push on joints. Taking sitting bones back, belly pulling in, ribs back, Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Spine forward, crown forward. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out through the nose. Step down with the standing leg, the right leg. Lift tall. Place the foot down. Find one more twist. Turn our knees to the right. Hands to the back of the chair. Head turns last and with our neck muscles. Twisting towards the right. You might have your hands on the back of the chair. Breathe fully. Breathe completely. Breathe in. And breathe out. Twists are so wonderful for opening up the front of our body, helping us to bring the shoulder blade on the back, moving stagnant organs. Swirl back around and find your way to the other side. Knees facing the left, hand on the back of the chair. Twist from your navel up, head turning with neck muscles. Imagine that you're creating length, breathing up, 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 up. Each spine, each vertebrae, making space between it as you twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel your breath in this twist. Unfurl. Find yourself back at center and move towards your resting pose. You might put your feet on a second chair or an ottoman in front of you, pillows, blankets. Make yourself comfortable for your final pose. Make yourself comfortable. It's worth it. It's worth it because you really want to relax and absorb. Doesn't have to be a long relaxation. I mean, ideally, at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes would be wonderful. Nothing to feel guilty about. You just did your practice. You just moved from head to toe, literally, fingertip to toe tips. Let the breath soften. Return to a natural pace. As you feel the sensations streaming inside of you. Feel the sensations in your feet, even in your toes. Feeling the sensations in your lower legs, your upper legs. Feel your hips on the chair. Feel your sitting bones on the chair. Feel the belly expand and soften with each breath. Making space with the inhale. Expanding on the inhale. And softening and descending on the exhale. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. You might circle them around a little bit and feel that massage. Just a little massage. Notice what it feels like. It should feel good. Just a little, small circles You deserve this rest. We call yoga an internal body massage. Focusing on your heart region, your big hearts, your big open hearts that you opened even further through your practice and your breathing. Relaxing your face, your upper and lower jaws, tongue in your mouth. Make it thick and plump and relax towards the back of your mouth and palate. Feel the air as you inhale, comes up through the nostrils. Feel the air as you expel from the nostrils. Awareness of the eyelids touching without crunching, just softly touching. Whole body relaxing. From the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. And we'll take our hands in front of our heart and let's do a few ohms together to make sure we exercise our voice muscles. So we'll take an inhale in. You might take your arms up overhead, and then on the exhale, you're ohming. Om. Lower the arms, inhale, lift up, spread your fingers, maybe gaze up, palms together as you exhale and om. Feel the vibration. I hope you have a wonderful day.